Hello and welcome everybody to Gameflix and Chill. I am Nick. This is Dante. Today we're gonna just kind of be shooting the shit. This is Gameflix and Chill, your podcast where we talk about movies, games, music, anything we want to talk about. We'll talk about it here on Gameflix and Chill. And we haven't ever really actually talked about music, and I say it every time we shoot a
That
podcast.
is true.
You know, now that I think about it, and I guess in that vein, you and I have a little differing opinion on live music. But this week I took 2 days off of work because I have two concerts that I'm going to. So I guess we can just talk about this for a little bit. I am going to see Avenged Sevenfold on Monday night, and I am so freaking excited because it's one of those bands that I've always wanted to see, and I saw they had tickets on sale, and I just hopped on and grabbed them. And Donkey and I are going. So yeah, I have that, and then I go back to work Tuesday, and then Wednesday night I'm going to see Jimmy Eat World and Fall Out Boy, and I got a lady friend I'm taking with me, so that'll be fun. Now you said you don't like going to live concerts.
No, not at all.
Really? Have you
There's not
ever
a single ounce.
have you ever been to one?
I went to one once. It's been 9 years.
See, I get it. I really do cuz I'm very much not a stand in a big group of people thing. So it has to be a band I really wanted to see. And Avenged Sevenfold ticks that box. I also did like security for like a bunch of different concerts whenever I was in school. So it that kind of I got to see a lot of shows for free by doing that little gig. Paid a little money, but that kind of really got me into it. And I'll be honest, the shows that I disliked the most were just the chaotic ones. Like we did security for Social Distortion, and I tell this story all the time, but um, they were like an old school like punk rock alternative kind of band. I don't really know how you would describe them, but um and it was chaos. They actually had barricades in front of the stage for like the first show I had ever worked, and I was like, "Holy hell!" And it was, I mean, I had to rip a lady off of the stage. Her purse got caught on the rail, and I just yeeted her out the door. It was pandemonium. So like, I get it, but I also did like the most annoyed I ever was when doing security work for a concert was Pat Benatar because of the age demographic. It was just like all the I don't want to say old, entitled middle-aged Karens. It's the only way to describe it. Like
Gotcha.
that someone approached me and was like, "Hey, can you go in front of us and tell the people in front of us to like, you know, either move over, like we can't see." And they were up in the nosebleeds. They weren't like the greatest seats, but the way they were is like the people that complained were up here, and the group was like down here. I don't know if you can understand that.
Yeah, I got you.
So these people that were higher than these people couldn't see the show, so I had to go up and tell them. And the um the response I got was, "I want to talk to your manager. We paid good money." I said, and I looked at the lady. I said, "One, you don't want to speak to my manager because he's even a bigger dick than I am. And two, these people also paid good money for these seats. So if you don't sit down, I can go get my manager, and then we're going to drag you out to the curb and you can listen to the rest of the concert there." And this middle aged Karen, how dare you? Do you know who I am? You don't know who you're messing with. All right, I told you. We went up, and I showed up with like four freaking bouncers. We were like, sit down, move over, or you're gone. And they all just like, some of them slid over, some of them sat down. So yeah, I get not liking to be around the people. Those are the most annoying shows.
It's not even that. It's more of a it's more of a sensory thing for me because when I listen to music, I like to like just me listening to the music.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be walking around the house just playing music, just it's my kind of vibe. When I'm at the live show, I'm dealing with other people, so I can't freely hear not just the audio, but like the lyrics as well. Because everybody else is trying to sing along like they're a part of the fucking band.
Have you? What kind of music did you go see?
The first one I went to, it was a Luke Bryan concert, and then
Okay.
the second one I went to was it was just like a culmination of different metal bands.
Okay. Which one did you enjoy more? I'm curious.
Oh, definitely the metal bands.
Yes. Country concerts bring out the absolute, and I'm sorry if you enjoy country music, but this is like the truest thing I think I can say ever. Country concerts bring out the absolute trashiest cesspool of human filth there is. Because I did security for Lee Bryce, and it was more chaotic than the show I had to drag a woman off of the stage because she tried to jump stage. I'm not kidding you. I had to go into the women's restroom. I had to have someone go in, clear it out, so that I could pick this woman up off of the ground. And I felt horrible because she was so intoxicated. We ended up calling an ambulance, but I had to get her out of the. I mean, she was laying on the floor of the bathroom, like soaking wet. I felt terrible for her. But it's like that wasn't the only terrible, terrible thing that happened that night. I mean, and honestly, it really wasn't terrible. She just drank entirely too much. It like people excreting fluids from their bodies in places that you shouldn't be doing that. It was terrible. But like, okay, so if you were at a metal, like you went to like a like call it like a battle of the bands or like a metal fest or whatever. Maybe not a metal festival would be something different, but like did you just like were you there with other people that you didn't know and were you just like vibing? I just dropped my phone on the floor.
I was with a couple people I did know, but I mean, there was a lot of people we didn't.
Yeah,
But
see,
even then, I still didn't end up enjoying it.
I will I when I go to shows, it's like it more so than if I'm security. Obviously, I'm like there to do a job. You know, the music is the bonus. The paycheck is the was the big thing for me. But whenever I go to like shows as a music enjoyer, we'll say, dude, I'm just like with random people, just like vibing. I'm just like fucking dancing if I can, and doing the white guy dances and just having a good fucking time. Like I went to a hip hop show one time at the Fillmore in DC, and I looked over. I was outside walking in, gave him my tickets, and I looked over, and one of the people that was on the fucking bill to perform that night was sitting outside. They threw him out. He's like, I tried telling him I'm on the bill, and they won't let me back in. I'm like, why'd you get kicked out? He goes, they said I was drinking too much. And yeah, he probably was. He was just having a good time. And then like we go in, we see like a couple of the other people perform. Mike Stud was there. I don't know. Mike Stud was big when we were not big, but like cool when we were in high school. And then all of a sudden, like the person I wanted to go and see perform at the Fillmore, me and him were literally over there. Like I look over and he's dancing next to me, just fucking vibing, bro. And I'm like, yo, and he's like, yo, and then we just started fucking vibing to Mike Stud as he was performing. It was I don't know. I don't have a problem vibing with other people. Like it does
Nothing
that.
about that story made me go, I like going to live events now.
I don't know, man. Maybe we're just different.
My thing is like my favorite thing to do is, just crack like a, nice glass of wine, sit out on my back porch, listen to music, and just that's my kind of
Okay.
vibe.
If there was
On,
okay,
on, on top of that, though, at the same time, you're spending however much to go see it. Yeah, you're there for the event, the atmosphere, things like that. Motherfucker, I can listen to all the songs you're going to listen to for free at home.
I can understand that, but there's something about, for example, now this is an older example, but like going to see. Now, granted, this is also before my time, but listening to Led Zeppelin on a studio recording of over my stereo that I have out in the living room compared to how they used to perform live, like their live performances were always different. Every city they went to, they performed a little bit different, and it was just like they would just jam. They would have like a jam session on stage. Yeah, it was a familiar song, but um they would just do something. Like I remember my dad had like a box set of Led Zeppelin. Um, they were tapes, and you would put them in the VCR, and they were like various live shows that they had done. And I remember the version of Moby Dick, which is a Led Zeppelin song, which is primarily just a drum solo, is
My
like
thing
4
is,
minutes long.
if I would have been able to go see, there would be only one live event that if I was around during that time when it was going on, I feel like I would have enjoyed it, and that was a Queen.
I think like seeing, if I would have been alive to see Queen perform at Live Aid, that would have been sick. Just, I mean, in more than just the that movie that they made, um, it's like I saw footage of that before they made that Bohemian Rhapsody movie, and I loved Queen growing up because like Um, my dad used to have like sports mixes for whenever we'd go to like football practice. We'd get like hyped up before a game, and there were so many Queen songs on those old CDs. But what was I saying? Oh, Led Zeppelin, Moby Dick. The original version of that song, recorded in studio, is 4 minutes and 25 seconds long. I went and saw a cover Led Zeppelin band, probably one of the best ones that's out right now. They tour all across the United States. They're called Get the Let Out. They're awesome. Sidebar. But when they perform Moby Dick live, the drummer drums for like 15 minutes straight. And I took my roommate, he'd never seen them before, and he started playing Moby Dick, and he was like, dude, that was sick. And I leaned over, I was like, he's not done yet. And the drummer throws the drumsticks behind him and just starts fucking playing the drums with his hands. Fucking, he had a gong behind him. He punched the gong a couple times, and it all just sounded so perfect. I don't know. It just, that is what I get out of playing, hearing live music is just like how even original artists put their own little spin on things. I feel like I
All right.
lost you.
I mean, you were already, it's already like down a river, but like, no, it's one of those things where I see everyone's point of view on that kind of jazz. It's not like I'm anti that ideal. It's just not me, you know?
What would be, like, regardless of price? I know you said if you had been around, you'd like to go see like Queen perform somewhere. But like If there was a band that, you know, someone said, "Here are tickets. I don't care how much they cost. They're the best tickets you can get." What would be one band that you would go see live?
The Rat Pack.
Never heard of them. Who are
It's Frank Sinatra.
they? Oh, I feel like you're just cheating at this point. You
Sorry.
want to talk about
Go
something
ahead.
else?
No, I don't know, because everybody I listen to is like half of them are dead. So,
Yeah, I have that problem as well.
uh, mm, that doesn't count because he's a composer. No, I'm not gonna lie. I would go to a live event if Hans Zimmer ever did anything. He is a
That would be just even another cool one. So I did something similar. A girl I dated in the past for my birthday, she got me tickets to go see. Um, it wasn't John Williams, but it was like a symphony performance of all his like works in Hollywood and shit. Now that was cool. All right, get away from live music. What are your, if you can't think of them off the top of your head, give me your top five bands. Doesn't have to be like of all time, but like you pull up your Spotify. What do you have up right now?
if we're talking bands, there's one. It's Hail Lung. They're a like a Nordic based kind of ritualistic sounding kind of metal type deal.
Okay.
Um, oh boy, Cannibal Corpse is another one.
Okay.
I'm trying to think because most of the things I listen to are single artists. There's probably a couple. Obviously, I
Well,
mean,
you can give those too. You can give single artists if you'd like.
one of my obvious ones is still Linkin Park. I still jam out to that.
I have a funny story about that, but continue.
Let's see, what else is there? I mean, singular songs. I don't know. My playlist is just an amalgamation of just different things.
Yeah.
If I had to say, like obviously, if we go on a different side of things, like I got a lot of Eminem and Lil Wayne
Yeah.
on my Spotify.
Like I said, can be
But
artists. Kid doesn't have to just be bands.
no, if I had to say, like out of all of those are all my top listened to things on my Spotify at least.
So right now, I would have to say, in mine changes a lot. So if I were to pull up my Pandora, you'd probably have my number one right now is Avenged Sevenfold, but it's not my favorite. My favorite Led Zeppelin has to go to it. Then probably Avenged Sevenfold. Then old Metallica, nothing released after like 2000. Wasn't a big fan of even their like Black album that Enter Sandman's on. They have a couple good songs like For Whom the I'm pretty sure For Whom the Bell Tolls is on there. I don't know, but that one, Linkin Park is another one that I listen to in between all the other stuff. Every once in a while, I just look at my Linkin Park playlist and I'm like, yeah, I could do that today. That would be fun. Eminem, he's in mine. Uh, I listen to like almost every album of his, and I like listening to his albums because it's like not all of his albums just sound like he tried to do the same thing again, despite them being named in like a similar tone. Like how he has the Marshall Mathers LP, and then he has the Marshall Mathers LP too. He has like Kamikaze, which is like a similar vibe to Music to Be Murdered By.
Yeah,
And then he has like Recovery, which is like in a lot of people's minds peak Eminem, but not. That's not like my favorite Eminem. And then you have like his Relapse album, which everybody dogged on, and he doesn't even like it all that much. But like, I think there's some bangers on that album. Then obviously all of his old stuff, the Slim Shady LP. You know, I listen to a lot of Eminem, but Joyner Lucas too. That all depends on like what I'm feeling. I'll go into
Yeah,
like Wu Tang Clan for a little bit, then I'll get into like NWA and a lot of Ice Cube's like solo shit that he did. I like that. Old Dr. Dre, some Snoop Dogg. Yeah, I that like I said, it depends on what mood I'm in. But I'll
yeah.
tell.
When I want to think about things, I throw Tupac on.
Yeah, I have some Pac on. I have some Pac in my hip hop playlist. To America's once most wanted. It's like one of my favorite songs by him. That
Gotcha.
one comes on a lot on autoplay, and I'm just like every time I'm like, yeah, let's go. I tell you my little brief story. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I had tickets to go see Linkin Park twice, and the first time they were a gift from my father for Christmas. They had tickets. They were going to do a show in West Virginia, and we were going to go out there. He was going to take me, him, and my stepmom were going to go because that's like very much her era of music. Is that like early 2000s shit? And I was so hyped. And then Chester broke his ankle, and they ended up canceling the show. We never ended up being able to go. They got their money back on the tickets, whatever. And then the very next time we got tickets, it was a similar like location. I think it was in West Virginia as well. And Chester committed suicide. So
Nah.
I never got to see them perform.
Back to conspiracy theories. He didn't actually kill himself.
I mean,
So,
I don't know, man.
did you ever hear their the last song they released that he performed?
Probably.
They just dropped it last year. They wanted to wait a couple years so they weren't like, oh hey, milking him kind of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, they released it towards, I want to say not the end, but like the middle of last year, and it was immediately added into my playlist.
Well,
And
they also released like a bunch of unreleased songs that were supposed to be on either
a
Hybrid
hunting party,
Theory or Mitoria.
Matoria.
Um, it was either they were like cut songs from one of those two albums, and they released like they finished the songs. They were unfinished, and they went and finished the songs. But like when you go back and listen to the old Linkin Park, dude, you can tell he was he was depressed, man. I listened to some of it and I'm like, damn, like it hits hard. It's weird, but it hits harder whenever you're older because when you're a kid, you're just like, this is sick. And then you actually, as an adult, you kind of listen to it and it's like, man, that's kind of relatable. I get that. But hey, man, I don't know if he took his own life or if there was foul play involved. But I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, there was something I was going to say, but then I completely missed it. It is gone.
You ever
God damn.
listen to Greta Van Fleet?
No.
Okay, they're if you like old like 60s styled music,
Yes. Okay.
they are a young group of guys. I want to say between the ages of 20 25, and they they sound like Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin, that kind of music, but they're like new people making that style of music. It is so good. I know I was an early adopter of Greta Van Fleet. Early. And then I mean, you've probably heard their one song. It's called Highway Tune. It's in a bunch of shit now, but
Probably.
they're good, dude. The the kid did like an interview and he's like everybody compares him to a young Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin, and the kid's like, "Nah, honestly, I model my voice after Steven Tyler from Aerosmith." And Robert Plant watched the interview. He goes, "Oh, that's bullshit." Just
Well, all right then.
it's funny.
If you had to pick your favorite era from music, which one would it be?
60s.
I kind of figured mine. All right, so mine's weird because it jumps between like the 1600s and 1920.
I know you be over there like listening to Mozart in a bathtub and shit.
Yep.
Nah, I something about like Jefferson Airplane, you know, Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, even Queen. I'd say was more 70s, but I'm not a super big Aerosmith fan. Um, it's either that or like, yeah, it would have to be that. How about Electric Light Orchestra? You like Electric Light ELO? They
Never
do that.
heard of.
Oh, you have. I guarantee you have. They do that
Really?
song. It's like evil woman. Now. Evil woman.
It's not coming to mind. I might have to
Okay.
take a listen, like
Uh,
an actual listen, once we're done with this.
how about Mr. Blue Sky? It's in the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy 2,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
where they're like
Okay.
fighting that alien and Groot's just like jamming and all the crap's happening in the background. Yeah, that's ELO. And then oh, what's the other one? I listen to those sometimes. I have a playlist that is literally the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. Just because I think it's probably one of the most uplifting curations of music I've ever heard. Except for Guardians 3. I did not like the soundtrack nearly as much as I did in the first two.
I'm so behind on all the Marvel stuff because once we entered the new phase, I was like, I'm just not into it.
Like, dude, this is. We will get into this then. This is a good shift. Like, I think the perfect place for them to end the Marvel Cinematic Universe was after Endgame. After Endgame, just leave it alone. And then start your own thing with Spider Verse and create a whole new universe. Or not Spider Verse, like the Spider Man Far From Home or whatever the hell it was.
It was Homecoming, Far From Home.
Oh, No Way Home. That was
Yeah,
it.
trying to find home, going
E.T.
home.
Phone Home. Spider Man Home Alone. Yeah. I think like with what that movie was, I think it would have been way cooler to like do a Miles Morales type deal where they have like subtle hints to the MCU, but just start over, tell a whole new story, and then, you know, they could do their Spider Verse thing. Miles Morales is the main character. Tom Holland comes in. Fucking Andrew Garfield comes in to do their his Spider Man thing. Get Toby in there, old ass Spider Man, Bully Maguire. Just, just tell a whole new story in a whole new universe, and then say, I don't know. You start getting people hooked into new stuff rather than sitting here like trying to introduce new superheroes like the Doctor Strange movie. I liked it, honestly. I personally, I don't care what the haters say. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a scene in there where Doctor Strange is fighting with music notes and he's like pulling sheet music out and they're just having like a battle of the mystic arts. But the thing is with the Doctor Strange movie is it's literally just a whole movie to introduce someone who isn't Doctor Strange. It's about America Chavez. It's not about Doctor Strange. I like that bullshit Hawkeye TV show they made. It was awful. But it wasn't about Hawkeye. It was about Kate Bishop. I don't know where the fuck they're going. Everything from Iron Man 1 to Endgame was sick.
No, you're wrong.
No, not every movie. There were some
Okay,
stinkers in
there
there.
was only one. It was one true one. It was Thor: The Dark World.
Thor the Dark World is quite literally the one movie in the MCU that if you just fucking delete it, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
You could literally explain away the reality stone in like a quick something or other in either Endgame or Infinity War. Like it doesn't. The whole purpose of that movie is to introduce the reality stone and say, "Hey, we put it here with the collector." That's it. Nothing else in that movie matters except for Queen Amidala almost dying and her and Thor breaking up.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I can't even. I think the last thing I watched that was Marvel related was damn. I can't. I know I didn't watch WandaVision. I started Multiverse of Madness, but got like 15 minutes in, and I was just like, I'm not really. Nothing was hooking me.
Yeah, Multiverse of Madness. The thing is that you would have actually kind of needed to watch WandaVision to understand Multiverse of Madness.
Hmm.
As odd as it sounds, but it's true. And I
Well,
try
my
not.
difference is like I know how the Marvel works because I already know. Wanda goes full on Scarlet Witch and all that kind of
Yeah,
jazz, and that's what the whole premise is. Like, oh, she's technically one of the most powerful ability users in the MCU, but like, it's
I don't
what I'm
disagree.
more what I want to see right now. I just want a scene where Tom Hardy's with Venom and Bully Maguire is just having like a weird feeling about Venom. Just a little
And
cutback.
they had the perfect opportunity to do it
Yep.
with Spider-Man ET Phone Home, but they didn't. They even put a cutscene in there. They put a cutscene. Oh, what did they do?
Well, are you talking about the cutscene at like the end of the movie?
Yeah, they had a cutscene at the end of Spider-Man Home Alone, that the one that all of them were in. Tom Hardy's sitting on a bar drinking a shot,
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "Man, so explain this all to me." And he like the bartender's like explaining Thanos, and then all of a sudden, like it's the end of the movie. Doctor Strange just put the cap back on the bottle. Nobody knows who Spider-Man is anymore, and Tom Hardy and Venom get sucked through like a dimensional rift, but a piece of Venom gets left behind on the bar.
yeah.
Okay. There's just too much going on. And how long is the MCU been going on?
What
2008?
was that? Yeah, that sounds
So
right.
it's 2024.
The 16 years.
16 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
My thing is at this point with the current ray that the MCU is I'm only here for Venom if they redo anything with Ghost Rider and then Deadpool.
We'll get into Deadpool. Let me go back and say what I was going to say real quick. I know I
Yeah,
ramble a lot
definitely.
in these podcasts. Adjust my hat. 16 years ago, when the MCU first came out, you had a slow story, a slow story, a slow story, right?
Yep.
You had Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America. So you had 4 movies before I guess we can count the Hulk. And that was like our first taste, right? Because Robert Downey Jr. walked in at the end of The Incredible Hulk, and we were like, what? And it is a part of the MCU. But it was 5 movies before we got to see the team up that we were all just like speculating was going to happen. Like, was Captain America really going to be tied into Iron Man? Well, we didn't know until the end of Captain America when like uh Nick Fury comes out and it's like, yo, he's in Iron Man. No way. And then you had what was Thor. You had Phil Coulson and Thor. It's like, bro, they're setting something up. So like the hype was kind of built up over 5 movies, right?
Yep.
Before we got like a big team up. Right now, you have a Spider-Man movie that all the other Spider-Men are in. Cool, like that's awesome. That's a really cool premise. Okay, you have not only are all the Spider-Men in it, Doctor Strange is in it too. It's like, okay. Then you have Doctor Strange. Wanda's the bad guy. Oh, cool. We're also gonna have this cameo fest of uh America Chavez. She's gonna be in it. We're gonna get Reed Richard, Professor X. Uh, I can't remember who else is in the Illuminati in that movie, but like on a different Earth. It's just like a and they had, I don't know, spoilers. I don't know if you care. Do you mind? Can I
At this
spoil it?
point, no, I don't give a rat's ass.
Okay. They brought Patrick Stewart back from X-Men as Professor X in an alternate dimension version of the MCU in Doctor Strange. Um but it's like, okay, so now we got that crossover. And Jim from The Office was Mr. Fantastic, and all right, cool. Uh, what else? Okay, we got Thor. He's doing his own crossover with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Every movie is a crossover now, and it doesn't need to be. Tell me Thor's story without. I mean, Taika Waititi kind of really did tell Thor's story without needing Guardians. In the first 10 minutes of that movie, the Love and Thunder, he literally just sent Thor or sent the Guardians off to go do their own thing. Probably the best thing about that movie. Thor was just kind of rocking, having fun. I have problems with that movie too. But there's a difference between having this casual build up to something cool versus something that we now expect to happen in every MCU movie. We had that first casual build up to the Avengers, right? And then we had Iron Man 3 where he's like going on his own solo journey, and then you had Captain America Civil War, his own solo journey. Then you had or not Cap Winter Soldier. You had everyone going on their own little journeys before we got another mashup in Age of Ultron. And then you had like weird stuff happening with Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's like, we didn't know if that was connected until much later. I mean, if you paid attention to the post credit scenes, I guess you did because they showed Thanos at the end of Avengers.
Yep.
They showed, and then they had Thanos in. I think they name dropped Thanos in Guardians, and then you didn't really see the Avengers meet the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like it just happened so gradually and so naturally. Where right now it's just like, hey, look at this. We got, I don't know, just cameo puke. So that's what I like. You let the magic go gradually, and we got used to it. But you told us stories along the way. Versus, here's a story. Here's this cool little thing that you used to think was magic, but it's really just you know my my finger isn't. Wait, what? How do you do it? I don't know, but like my finger isn't really cut off here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's right here. Like you told us how the magic trick was done, and you're still trying to fool us with the same magic trick. Best way for me to describe it. There's my
No,
TED talk.
I definitely get it. It's definitely, I think right now it's more of a generational thing because all the younger peoples of the world have, and not in a mean way, just to have that shorter attention span. So they're not here to look for that long, drawn out like build up. I want it like all at once right now to keep me satiated. Because otherwise, I mean, why would I put my time into, why do I need to watch 5 movies when you could kind of give me a 10-minute explanation and then just
Yeah,
boom?
they have TikTok brain. That's what it
Yeah.
is. They truly do. They do not have the attention. In that's something that I pride myself. I've never had TikTok. I will not download TikTok. I'm sorry. I know. But it's like I'm so grateful I did because I can put an hour long like video of someone building a car in a middle of a field with a toolbox from Harbor Freight, and I can still enjoy that. I don't need to like click off of the video because it just doesn't catch my attention anymore. I agree. I think that's an issue. I think a lot of the other issue is like you have the kids that were like playing Fortnite when we were enjoying the MCU, and the kids that were playing Fortnite got like, bro, we got Master Chief in the game, bro. We got the Master Chief skin. We got the NFL skins. We got, oh, dude, like they did the Star Wars crossover where they announced that Palpatine somehow fucking returned, and that's how we were supposed to understand it when we went and watched Star Wars in the theaters. It was a really cool thing. Oh, what else? What other crossovers did they fucking do with Fortnite? Like, and that is who they're like marketing for now because those are the kids that are like getting jobs and can afford to go do, you know, watch a movie. They have
Yeah.
jobs to pay for the movie tickets, and they have low enough hours that you know they're gonna be off the day of release, where you and I are probably gonna be at work.
All right, well, let's get on to a lighter topic that we know we can
No,
enjoy.
we
It's
gotta
Deadpool.
talk. Yeah, okay. That's where I was gonna go.
We're going straight into that one.
Dude, Deadpool looks fucking sick. And
It does.
I just know that because Ryan Reynolds is involved and they brought back Hugh Jackman, it's gonna be good. It's not going to be for the TikTok brains. It's
Nope.
gonna be for us.
My thing is, I wonder if Ryan's going to steal another suit. By the way, if you didn't know, he has stolen 4 Deadpool
Yeah,
suits.
I do know that. Every one he just walks off the set with it.
Yeah.
Just like, I
What are you
mean,
gonna do?
dude,
Stop him?
if I was Ryan Reynolds and because do you remember X-Men Wolverine Origins?
I do. Yeah.
We liked that movie as a kids. I can solidly say because I watched it on Disney Plus not too long ago. That movie is dog shit.
It is. It's awful.
It is
It is
dog
just
shit.
awful.
And what they did to Wolverine, or not Wolverine, what they did to Deadpool in that movie was egregious. Like, should have been punishable by jail time. And Ryan Reynolds was pissed about that, how they treated Deadpool in that movie. And but he went along with it because he knew that maybe he would be able to work on a spin-off movie, and I'm so glad Fox greenlit it. It's just
And they greenlit it as the still keeping the R rating to it.
yes. And that is what well, yeah, Disney allowed them to continue making it rated R, which is truly the best thing that could have happened for Deadpool. Like
Yes.
some of my favorite um comic book movies are the ones that are just R rated because yeah, if Captain America were to kick that guy, he would break his fucking back in half. He would split him like a toothpick, right?
Yeah.
That guy, that's just a regular guy. But, seeing Wolverine fight in the original X-Men movies, it's like, dude, he's such a badass. And then you see him fight in Logan. And it's like, yo, he just cut that guy's whole head into like 4 slices because his claws have 3 prongs.
Yep.
It's like, something so cool about that. That first fucking opening shot of Deadpool. I was sitting in theaters like, and it's that shock factor that was just like, okay, like if people really did have superpowers, they'd probably fuck some shit up.
Oh yeah. It'd be like the boys.
Yeah, and the boys took what like Deadpool did and Logan did and took it to a whole almost I would say more disturbing level.
I'd say the boys is the most accurate, like realistic situation that would happen if
Yeah,
the world suddenly got
for
superpowers.
real. I haven't watched it, and it's in my like need to watch list. I'm going to watch it. When does that new season come out?
Oh boy. I want to say at the end of this year. It's been 2 years. Yeah, they take a year filming yeah, it should be coming out either end of this year or beginning of next
Donkey
year.
was acting like it was like soon.
I don't think it's soon.
Okay,
I mean,
so
I
I have
have.
some time to get them to put time in and watch those.
Oh well, when you put time in, once you start it, you can't stop it.
Well, my whole thing is like I want to catch up so that I can watch them like watch the new season around the same time that you guys are, so we could do podcasts like this and actually talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that and I'll watch like a couple episodes and then we'll do like a segment on here where we like, hey, how's the boys, bro? You know,
Same with Peaky Blinders.
Peaky
I'm just
Blinders.
saying.
That's another one I need to watch.
I know
I
it's in
gotta
that list.
I gotta no. Here's my thing. I gotta get Netflix back because I lost my family's Netflix account due to all their bullshit. So Netflix cut down on password sharing. I guess it doesn't matter that I literally live 2 blocks away from my parents. Like whatever.
Nope, you're not on the same
And I've
router.
been
That's
I've
what
been
it is.
well, I know a way to get around that, but it requires me buying like a cheap laptop to do it.
Hmm.
Just saying. But yeah, um, that's another one. I want to watch Peaky Blinders. Got to do it.
The Boys and Peaky Blinders would be my two biggest suggestions.
Cause as of
As
right
like
now,
an
I just keep rewatching shit because when I get home from work, I don't want to watch something that I don't have time to like digest. I just need
mm-hmm.
to watch something familiar that I can be like, oh yeah, I forgot that happened, and then just fall asleep and be good. So it's like it's gonna
Gotcha.
be like one of those. I'm gonna either like get home from work, take my melatonin, bang out one episode and go straight to bed. That's it. Or it's gonna be like, okay, I don't have anything going on other than like podcasts this weekend. So I'm gonna get up, 10 o'clock, watch 2 episodes of The Boys or 2 episodes of Peaky Blinders, do the podcast, edit it, go back into, you know, binge watching something. But yeah, I will watch them.
I want you to know right now, when watching Peaky Blinders, it causes a nicotine addiction. I'm going to be honest. The amount that you get immersed in that show,
Are,
I think when I first started it, the first month that I watched Peaky Blinders, I tripled the amount of vape liquid I used that month.
I already have a nicotine addiction.
Yeah, exactly. Same, but it gets worse.
Yeah, if you ain't zinning, you ain't winning. Um, Children out there, please don't don't use nicotine products. It's a
Whatever.
depend.
Everybody.
Hey. Trying to get
8-year-olds were using it back
trying
in
to
the
get
1800s.
monetized here.
Monetized, yeah, by the fucking tobacco companies.
I actually don't know if that's legal to advertise on YouTube. I don't know. I think that would probably go against terms of service. But anyway, yeah, if you're a
Probably.
child, just don't use them because then you end up like me and you end up with you think, oh, it helps with my anxiety, and it doesn't. It actually can end up making anxiety worse when you don't have it. So yeah, don't use them.
Yeah, go straight into. We'll move on.
Don't say nothing, dude. Just don't say nothing. Oh,
There was two ways I was going to go with
I
that one.
know
Both
I
went.
know which one you were gonna go with. Yeah, Jesus Christ, this is Gameflix and Chill After Dark. Uh, so quick recap. We'll jump back to the MCU for a minute. If there are, I gotta give them some credit because COVID kind of really screwed up. I'm sure what they had planned, right? And I'm sure there were things in the works that movies in the works that turned into those series. If you were to watch any of them, these are the two I would say to watch. Loki because it's actually really good, and WandaVision because both of them I was kind of like they had enough of like a little bit of a twist that you didn't quite know what was going to happen. Unfortunately, the Doctor Strange movie kind of ruins WandaVision. The Loki show is kind of ruined by the fact that they're no longer going to do Kang Dynasty because it turns out that guy that played Kang, not a great guy, but still very good watch, especially like the most recent season. Chef's kiss,
I've watched season one of Loki.
dude. If you the most recent season, so good. It's just unfortunate that the guy that played Kang is kind of a piece of crap and ruined Kang the Conqueror, which could have been so cool, but whatever.
All right then.
Oh, well, I wanted to talk about this before it becomes irrelevant, and did you see any of the Apex Legends hacking in a tournament thing?
I did, yeah.
Dude, so for those of you, the uninitiated, the people who haven't heard about it, there was a Apex Legends tournament going on, and multiple pro players had been hacked, and someone hacked them while they were playing in a tournament and turned cheats on for them. And the players ended up eventually having to back out of the lobby. I don't remember the guy's name, and I'm actually not even gonna say it because, quite frankly, don't care. Don't want to put any more attention on this guy than he's already gotten. I think he got his kick out of it, but um, so it spawned this whole thing of like, is the entirety of Apex Legends compromised? Is it so there's this thing, so RCS, or I think it's like remote code execution or something like that. I'm not super well versed on the terminology, but it's like, can this guy hack anybody in this game, or do these players just have to have compromised machines that allow him to get into the game? And this hacker was not only just enabling cheats, but he was doing stuff like giving people like thousands of Apex packs. Uh, he was um, he's able to reset accounts. He's able to ban accounts. He's able to spawn into your game, and he wrote a script that he can execute on the server that would spawn numerous versions of himself and potentially just like create a zombies mode, but it's happening in the middle of a freaking ranked game. um pretty pretty crappy stuff. I believe Apex came out and said that they're investigating the issue, but they're fairly certain that it's not a system wide issue. He's found a way to get into certain servers either by using machines that had been compromised already, or you know something along those lines. And it also brought in the idea that Easy Anti Cheat, the company that does the anti cheat for Apex, was also compromised, and he was possibly able to get in through that way. And if you don't know, that's a kernel level anti cheat. So that anti cheat basically, if you're playing on PC, the anti cheat has full control over your entire computer, programs, data, uh, files. It can look at your pictures that you have saved, everything. So if he's able to get in through that, he's able to infect everything. Um, but from what I've seen, only a handful of people have um, been affected by it. So a lot of people are just thinking that it's uh, players' machines that were compromised. Very interesting stuff.
It is.
And if anybody out there wants to look into it further, I'm definitely not the best source, but I just wanted to talk about it real quick. But uh, check out Pirate Software's video. He did an excellent video where they actually talked to people that got hacked. Another software developer, Pirate Software, if you don't know, is like an amazing software developer. He's a hacker. He's kind of a white hat hacker. So he like he said one of his last jobs was hacking power plants for the government so that he could find vulnerabilities in government networks and stuff like that. So check that out. My question to you: is this just the beginning, or is it gonna get you know? Do you think this is like so far like the apex, pun intended, of hacking in video games, or do you think it's just gonna get much much worse?
Oh, it's gonna get worse.
I think so too. I think this is a new peak. And I think what's going to happen is all these other companies are going to learn from this and they're going to put in security measures to make sure it doesn't happen again. And what's going to happen is that these cheat developers, they go downhill for 6 months, maybe a year, year and a half. And then all of a sudden they figure out how to crack that code and it's like boom, skyrocket, we're up this ramp again.
I personally feel like this most like with the Apex thing going on. I personally feel like it was more of a distraction slash Trojan horse kind of deal. I feel like he was just testing things out, feeling out what he could get away with, and that he left something behind that's going to be like a kind of like a behind enemy lines kind of deal. He has it in there for whenever they try and kind of permanently say, "Oh, hey, we permanently fixed the issue. It won't happen again." And then he's going to come back again and be like, "Well, actually, I've had this in here the whole time."
I don't know enough about hacking or software development to tell you whether or not that's even viable. So
It
I'm not
is
going to
because I
speak on
did
it.
actually go to college for a year for cybersecurity. So I do know a little bit about it. It is possible if you're some sort of genius level hacker. I mean, you got to be one of the top up there, but why would one of the top hackers be going, "Oh, I'm going to go fuck around with a ranked Apex
See
game"?
that's what well for from what I understand it's for fun. It's to say, "Hey, look what I can do." This is me. Look what I did. And it's to just show that this billion-dollar corporation that has funded this video game does not have it can be literally torn apart by one person. However, I want to get back to the one thing that I said earlier was this seems like he doesn't have all out access to Apex Legends. It seems like he has access to a few notable people's machines. So, because if it was, say, this guy is doing this for fun, this guy is doing it for attention, this guy is doing it for, just to show that he can, why wouldn't you hit every single player on every single server, on every single network at EA at one time? And just at that point, you're Thanos sitting on the space throne.
He's feeling his way out.
Maybe. I don't know. I just think we've come so far. Throw back to 2017, Fortnite's out, the first game really to do any type of cross platform between PlayStation and Xbox, let alone PC. Now everyone's doing it, and not a single one of them has thought, hey, before we open this, before we open Pandora's box, let's really go gung ho in creating a very solid anti cheat that one works, but as new cheats come out, can actually almost algorithmically learn what the next move is going to be, what the next vulnerability is. I mean, Fortnite came out cross platform. Apex came out. Well, that was PC first. Then it went cross platform. You had Warzone 1, cross platform, no anti cheat at all. I mean, You're talking 2 full years of just cheaters, cheaters, cheaters everywhere. And yeah, there were their highs and there were peaks and valleys, of course, but you see it coming back around already, and we're only November, December, January, February, March. We're only 5 months into this game. We still have another five to go of content. Probably six. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's a weird time to be alive. Have anything else you want to say?
I mean, nothing that I can think of. My biggest thing with like, well, even just go down into hacking is what happens when we have more not necessarily AI side of things, but like even that, like autonomous driving, we have it now. Say somebody's just pre-programmed, they're driving down the road in their Tesla, and somebody hacks a Tesla and it just goes off a bridge or something.
It's a weird world. I mean, you see like it's a weird thing because you see tech guys all the time that are like into cybersecurity or into home automation. Not all of them have like all of the guys that are big in tech. Now I'm sure there's outliers. They got manual thermostats. They got manual door locks. There isn't a ring camera on their door. They don't
Yep.
have wireless security cameras. They if they have security cameras, they're on a private network that runs hardwired, and the only thing that it talks to is the machine that it records the data on. It's not connected to the internet. Nothing. You got a ring camera. Imagine, dude, this has actually happened already. People were hacking ring cameras to track movement in and out of a house, so people they would know exactly whenever the homeowner would leave to go to work. They knew when they would come home. They could go hit an entire block of houses in like an afternoon, and they would be able to shut the ring camera off so they would never get caught. That's insane. Keep that shit away from me. Then you have like people like locksmiths. They're all it's so weird. Like some of them are just like all about having the electronic lock that they can unlock on their phone. I don't know, man. Well, we're at an hour and 7 minutes, so we should wrap it here. This is a good little talk. Just literally shooting the shit. We got some music in. We got some video game stuff in. We whole ass MCU talk we didn't expect to see coming, but hey, fun nonetheless. We didn't really have
Sure.
anything planned for today, so we just kind of wanted to get on here, shoot the shit, and see where it led to. So, but yeah, thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Hit the like button. Leave a comment down below. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about next. Spotify, check out YouTube. YouTube, check out Spotify. You know the deal. I'm Nick. This is Dante, and this is Gameflix and Chill.